Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mobby TCG, and today we have a lot more One Piece reveals and links to go about, two of which pretty excited because they're leaders. One from the PRB set coming up and one from OP09 that has been officially revealed. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and look at the rest of the ST15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 cards that have been revealed since then. Then we'll get into those crazy new leaders, which I'm pretty excited about because I have a first draft sort of deck list for one of them I'm excited to try out coming up in a couple of days. So here we are. So the last ones we talked about were these Luffy's and Charlotte Lindens, and now we're going to talk about this Thatch and this Buggy here. So this Thatch is a common for ST15, so it's going to be for the Whitebeard redeck. It's a 1/2/2 on play. If your leader is Whitebeard, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2,000, then put the top card of your life into your hand. This is a pretty whatever card. The only reason you would kind of want to play it right now is it is searchable from Whitebeard, and that's okay, but overall it's probably not the best. But if anything, it's just in your hand as a searchable, and it's a 2k, and if you really need the -2, it's probably good for a quick, because you can use it technically with Whitebeard, like 9-drop and stuff like that, but you don't really want to put stuff into your hand. But there are some cards in the Whitebeard deck that you can make it so you don't have to put stuff to your hand, so maybe. However, this next card, Buggy, 1/2/2 counter, Buggy, common, 7 Warlords, right? On play, look at the top 3 and place them in any order. This card is so good. I think if you're running any sort of 7 Warlords deck, you run 4 of these 100%. This, as a matter of fact, might replace some of the Peronas that a lot of these 7 Warlords are building into. Instead of running 4 Peronas that have 1 counter, it's non-searchable, you run 4 Buggy, so you have even more 2k counters, and yeah, it's 2 less cards to look around, but you don't really need that much. So it's good in a Dofi deck, it's good in a Boa Hancock deck. It's really powerful, even in Crocodile 7 Warlords if you're kind of running that package. But yeah, there's a lot of cards in the 7 Warlords deck in general that brings cards back to your hand, a lot of blue cards, and it's just really good in a Boa Hancock deck, I would say. So this is an amazing card. Even though it's a common, it's like a must card. It's a must, right? Next, we have this Monkey D. Luffy for ST16. So this is supposed to be in the Uda deck coming up. This is a new film Supernova Straw Hat 2k counter. If your Uda is rested, this character has 1000 power. So even if you're not running a sort of straight out Uda deck, this is a film deck. This is a film card. It's a Straw Hat, it's a Supernova, so if anything, it can be used for a searcher for those archetypes and just thrown out as a 2k if you really don't have anything good and you just want it for a searcher. Other than that, you're probably not even going to play it really in an Uda deck because you're most likely never going to throw this out. So yeah, it's whatever. It's 2k most likely in most decks. Let's go ahead and turn that volume down just slightly. I'm listening to this like 90s music mix we got here. Okay, next up we have this Marshall D. Teach. I've tested this card out. It's a little weird, but it works in some situations, so check this out. 2, 3, 1. It's a 7 Warlords and a Blackbeard, which is most likely going to be a new leader in OP09. Activate once per turn. Place 1 card from your hand to the top of your deck. So you're using a resource to attach 2 Dawn to one of your leader or characters. At the moment, this might work out in a Blackbeard deck. It depends on what color he is. He might be blue-black, right? But basically, right now, the best use of this is going to be in that Dofi deck because it actually is a setup. If you get to play this on turn 2, it's going to be really good. Like on turn 2, if you have 4 Dawn, or even actually, if you just play it on the first time that you can attack. If you go first with Dofi, you have 3 Dawn. You play this guy for 2, then you use the ability to 100% set up your 4-drop 7 Warlords. Then you attach 2 Rested Dawn to your leader, and then you have 1 Dawn left over. The very first turn that you can drop this out, you're going to be able to do some stuff. And because this is a main once per turn, you don't have to put him in harm's way if you don't want to attack or anything, leaving him privy to being KO'd by attacks, generally. So this is a very niche card. I'm trying to run 2 to 3 in my Dofi deck to try him out, but if this is in your opening hand, you're easily going to have a quick setup, so that's pretty cool. Okay, next up is the Charlotte Pudding, ST20 for the revamped Katakuri deck. On play, you may add the top card of your life to your hand. Pretty hard. Pretty harsh. Set up to one of your 3 costs as type is active. This is kind of hard to use. I don't think this is going to use a lot of play at all. There is a trigger here to rest another one, but it just doesn't look like there's any really good slot for this in a Katakuri deck. The only reason you would even want to use this thing is to maybe go for, I don't know, like, end game swing. Maybe you have your Sparrow 3-drop. There are a very, very small amount of like 3-drop or lower big moms that you actually want to attack, activate this, and restand, re-rest. So there's not a lot. More stuff might come out in the future, but right now it's not that great. But I can see this being more crazy if we see more just support cards for this. Next up is Charlotte Cracker. This is ST20 again. This is a common 4/5 1 counter. Once per turn, when this card would be KO'd by in effect only, not by KO, you may instead trash the top card of your life. Once again, it's another really harsh penalty if you want to, instead keep him alive. He has a trigger though. Trash one to play this. Probably not going to see any play at all. Probably not. Okay, Sengoku. So this is a 19. This is for the Smoker deck. This is a 1 cost, 1000 power, 1 counter, trash 2 black navy from your hand. If your leader is navy, draw 3. So really good for a Garp deck, and specifically the Smoker as well. It might probably not see that much play, if any, in any Sakazuki deck. I mean, like the blue-black Sakazuki. If you're running like a straight black Sakazuki, then most likely yes. But I have this running in one of my decks right now, and it is so much value, especially in a Smoker deck, because yeah, you're still running some non-navy cards like the Rob Lucci's, the Rebecca's, and the Gecko Morias. But even if you're running 4 of those, that's 4, 8, 12 of non-black navy cards, and then the rest of them are really good navy cards. You have Helmeppo, Hina that you want to trash, and then you draw 3, and you're gonna have a lot of extra dead cards in your hand, especially if you're running like a lot of the Marineford HQ stuff. You only use 1, and then you have the rest in your hand to do nothing. So this is an amazing card for those decks. So really good in the Smoker deck. I'm having fun with this card. It's really good. Next up is the Usohachi from the ST18. This is for a mono purple Luffy deck. So it's a 3/3/2. On play, if you have 8 or more Dawn, rest up to a character that's 5 or less. Honestly, this could be used as a finisher to help you with blockers. It's a pretty good card as a 2K. So you only want to use it for the on play for the most part, or the 2K. You're never gonna use it to have on the field ready to attack. So it's good in a mono purple, and of course the red purple Luffy. So it's a solid 2K pretty much. Next up, we have the Tashigi. We talked about this last time because it got revealed, but here is the better art. So on play, if your leader is Smoker, give up to one of your characters -4 this turn. And this is from the ST19. 5/6/1 counter, which is interesting. Activate made once per turn. If this is the same turn, you can KO a character. This card is so good. I am running 4 of these in a Smoker deck that we've tried out. Link down below if you want to see all of the the playlist to all of the duels that we have. But I'm going to be uploading a Smoker duel, and this Tashigi does a lot of work. Dude, it's so freaking good. And the fact that it just allows you to activate your leader ability, because okay, you give someone -4. Let's just say you play this on turn 6 because you need the extra Dawn. So you play it on turn, you play this one Dawn 6, you get someone down by 4, you use your leader ability to go down by 1, then your leader ability pops off as well because someone will be 0, then you trash it. It's just such a good card, man. Such a good card. Next up is this one. So we've already seen this one down below, but now it's a better art. On play, -1 Dawn, play up to a purple 5 or less Straw Hat. So they really want to make purple Luffy much more of a thing. This thing is okay on its own. I tried to theory craft the deck, it just wasn't working. There is a new card that kind of combos with this that maybe is making it better, but I still don't see enough stuff for mono purple Luffy to just work. The best thing to use is still the red purple Luffy for now from what we've seen. Okay, and these are the reprinted art, so yeah, you're going to be seeing me use these cards in upcoming decks for sure. Okay, then there's this one. This one's really cool. So this is for the purple Luffy deck. 5/6/1 Straw Hat. When attacking, once per turn, if you have 8 or more Dawn, draw a card. Now this card is okay, but the fact that it's only once per turn hurts it a little bit. There is a a purple chopper card that came out, I think with OP05, that makes it so when you play this card, it restands another one of your 5 or lower Straw Hat purples, I believe. And this would have been perfect to combo with this. However, this is only once per turn. So it's a little tough to use. And honestly, if you just throw this out on turn 5, you're still going to be ramping up for the next turn, and you're most likely to be able to draw a card. But it's pretty weak. It's a really tough choice whether or not to use this card in a deck. But it can be drawn out with this. So hey, maybe yeah. Okay, next up is Garp. This is for the Smoker deck. 3/4/1 with blocker. Activate once per turn. Place 1 card from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Give up to one of your opponent's characters -1 cost for the turn. This is a pretty good deck for the Smoker deck in general, and I would only use it in that because it allows you to use your leader ability as well, because you don't have to put a Dawn on him every single turn. So yeah, it's really good. You are placing stuff from your trash to the bottom, which combos with the Sengoku down there, where you're trashing cards and putting them back. However, this one, yeah, it's a pretty good one. It's really tough to use it in a Smoker deck, though. I have a deck list. If you guys are interested, link down below. You can see all of my deck list. And right now, I just don't have room for this card. There's so many other good cards to use, but I feel like if you don't have access to those and you have this, you can do worse. This is actually a pretty okay card to put in the deck. Okay, Charlotte Brûlée for the Katakuri deck. 3/3, 3/3/2, so it's a counter, yay. Trigger, so it just does nothing except it has a trigger. Look at the top card of your life or opponent, put it to the top or bottom, then add this to your hand. It's pretty good. It's actually a pretty good card. If you don't have a lot of the staple 2Ks and you end up with this is a great card to put in because you get to move things around and you add it to your hand. It's pretty freaking sweet. Okay, next is Onami. This is a 4/2/1. This is a blocker. On play, if you have 8 or more Dawn, trash 1 first, then draw 2. Good effect. However, you have to have 8 or more Dawn, and it's a 4 cost. So, even if you can play this on curve, you probably don't want to, unless in your hand you don't have any other extra. If your future turns are like this card, this card, this card, you might as well play it on curve to get the blocker. But yeah, if you can play this. Even if you play this on the very turn that you have the 7-drop Luffy, you're not gonna have 8 Dawn on the field. But if you go seconds and you have it, it could work out. So it's a common, and it shows. It has very niche use, but overall it's searchable for Straw Hat Purple, and you can drop it with the Luffy. So there you go. Next up, we have this Smoker. God, I'm so disappointed in this Smoker. So pretty much, this is a 6 cost, 8,000 power, no counter, so it's a strong body. On play, trash a Navy from your hand already. You don't want to be trashing that many cards in your hand. But how's the ability? Up to 2 of your opponent's 4 or less cannot attack during your opponent's turn. What is this? This is kind of like a green sort of effect here. It's not great. I feel like, I don't know. Because like at the very best, yeah, maybe you're going to be stopping a 5 and a 4. Because you can drop their you can drop their cost and then activate this. But it's just, God, it's going to be a dead card in your hand a lot of the times. And there's much more other cards you could be playing at this point of time. And stalling rather than like actually KOing or bottom decking or placing into trash is much better. So this card is just not that great at all. Okay, and then we have all of these reprints for the Uda deck. These are the stages, I'm Invincible, New Genesis, etc. And these are the promo ones, which aren't really that good, but you could have only gotten through the Uda events if you went there in person, or you just buy them online, Next up, we have this New Gate. Now, this is an interesting card. Everything from here, like there's going to be 4 more SRs that are pretty interesting to check out, so look at this. So 7 cost, 8 special, 4 Emperors, Whitebeard Pirates. On play, give your leader or one of your characters up to 1 Rest the Dawn. Activate main. Rest this character to KO an opponent's character with 5 or less. So the turn that you play this, you can already just KO somebody. And then if they want, they can attack you with it, but they have to spend a lot of resources. This is a really good card for Whitebeard Pirates. I would say it's okay in a Whitebeard deck, but it's really, really good in the current Marco deck because on play, give your leader up to 1 Rest the Dawn, which allows you to just activate your ability with no extra cost after playing this on curve of 7 mana. So you can KO a 7 cost power the turn this is played. Amazing card. Amazing card. Okay, next up we have Katakuri, another SR561 Big Mom Pirates with blocker. A Katakuri with blocker. Active at main once per turn. You may turn one of the top cards face up. Really low cost requirements to activate this. Give your leader up to one of your characters up to 1 Rested On. So you play this, and it's, you know, who doesn't love a nice 6K blocker? It can get you out of a lot of sticky situations, and the cost is very easy, and it allows you to once again enable the Katakuri leader ability the turn this is played. So I'm seeing a theme here. It's allowing you, a lot of these cards just allow you to use your leader ability, which is sweet. Next up is Hina. Oh yeah, absolutely gonna go into the smoker deck here. So check this out. SR461 special, yeah. So one Dawn is placed on your opponent's turn, has 4 costs, makes it a little sticky. It's gonna be 8. It's still super susceptible to like law decks and stuff like that. Activate main once per turn. You may place 1 card from your trash to the bottom of your deck. Give your leader up to one of your characters, 1 Rested On. Once again, allowing you to use your leader ability with no extra cost except, you know, the thingy. Well, so it's good. It's a really good card. Maybe not 4. I'll probably run 2. Because there's no counter in here. But then you do have, once again, the Sengoku. You keep trashing stuff in your hand, maybe. Check this one out. Zoro Juro. So, this is the other card that I said you can, you know, it's really decent with that 7-drop Luffy that kicks out other Straw Hats. So, 4/6 no counter on play. Look at the top 5 and you grab one. That's pretty much it. It's a 4/6 searcher card. So it doesn't really do anything for on the board, but at least gives you some hand value so you can maybe get some more counters or whatever. But it's a decent card. Okay, next up is this Law card. 4/5/1, another SR. Let's go. 7 Warlords, Hard Pirates on play. Return up to one of your characters to your hand. Hey, you remember that buggy down there? It's useless on the field, but you bring it back to your hand, you got another 2K. Maybe you got some Kayas down there, bring that back. Such a good effect. Such a good effect for this deck. If your leader is 7 Warlords, return up to 1 4 or lower character to its owner's hand. The fact that this is just a 4K, a 4-drop, you're going to be throwing this out a lot with the Dofi ability, with the Jinbei, bringing it back with the Gecko Moria. This is an amazing card, guys. Amazing card. So you're going to combo this a ton. You're going to combo this a ton with, you know, your 2Ks that you drop down for effects. And then, yeah, you're just freaking cleaning up the board. Good card. Very good card. And then finally, for the page of the reveals, we have the Uda SR. Okay, so let's look at this one, right? 4/6 no counter blocker. Activate made once per turn. Trash a film card from your hand. You usually don't want to do any sort of trashing, but because in a Uda deck, you usually do have a lot of cards in your hand thanks to the Nami effect, your leader effect in general, the new Genesis effect. Yeah, there are some cards that you do kind of want to trash. However, you do run a lot of 1K and 2Ks in this deck, but maybe you can fill your deck out with more 0 cost counters, more film based to actually use this. Give up to one of your characters or leaders 1 Rested On. So it allows you to put a blocker out, a very strong blocker. You get rid of 1 card in your hand, but you also still get to use your leader ability, which is kind of the theme of the past cards, right? You get to use your leader ability, so it's pretty good. I'm going to run a couple, but because actually it is a 4K, it's full cost, I might throw them in. So definitely you run 4 of the 3 cost Udas because you can get them out with the 8-drop Kid. But what about this one, right? I'm gonna have to look on my Uda deck and mess around with the ratios, and then maybe I'll come out the deck list for you guys. Okay, so those were the current leaks. We'll have more later. Let's talk about the new leaders, and here we go. So this one is from OP09 leader. There is LIM OP09. Number 22, green purple leader, a grape, 4,000, 4 life, 5K power, Odyssey. So if you guys don't know what Odyssey is, it is from the latest One Piece game. It's a JRPG called One Piece Odyssey. This is a unique special character original to that game. So the ability is freaking nuts. So your characters enter play rested. Sounds like a really, really bad ability. There's not enough cards out yet to justify this bad effect, but we can already see with some of the very, very few reveals that there is synergy with the Odyssey cards. Activate main once per turn. You may rest 3 of your Dawn to set up one of your Dawn deck as rested, so you're not really ramping up. I mean, you are wrapping up, but it's not being set as active, which I feel like is pretty bad. Then play a 5 or lower cost Odyssey character from your hand. So you are using 3 to ramp and play an Odyssey character. And at least the Odyssey character coming in is not rested. So you do have that. So yeah, but then it's rested because it just play rested. So never mind. Okay. So there's 2 more characters here, and we have them here. With LIM. So those are the effects, but then we have the artwork here. So check this out. So this is a LIM 2 cost 0/1 blocker. End of your turn. If you have 2 or more Odyssey type rested characters, set this character as active. Oh my god. So obviously it's not great. Yeah. It's a promo card. So anything promo, it could be hit or miss. Really hit or miss. So this is like a whatever card. Next up, audio. It's another promo card. Look at the art. 452. It's a 2K counter. If you have 2 or more rested Odyssey, this character gains 1,000. It's whatever. So yeah. So that's from OP09 and the leaders from OP09, and then these 2 are here. So once we see more OP09 characters, I guess we're gonna check out if this thing is an amazing sort of archetype. But right now, no great, no good. And there's only 2 other Odyssey cards right now. Like one's red. Yeah, both of them are red. There's a LIM and then another audio, I believe, and they're both red cards, so they won't even work with this deck. Okay. And time for my most favorite reveal of the day, guys. Check out this Sanji leader. Woo! Okay. So, this is a 5,005 health. Check out his ability. This is going to be sick. Okay, so I really am excited to use this deck, use this card. Okay, so the Sanji ability here. Once per turn activates. Up to one of your 8 or lower characters without an on-play effect gains rush until the end of the turn. Holy crap, this card is potentially cool. I've been theory crafting some cards and decks, and I have a decent Straw Hat build. Let me show you what I'm working on. It's not finalized, but you can see here, there's 44 Straw Hats, 6 others, and you can see here, leader ability trigger, so 35. So there's 35 decent sort of things to use this with. So I want to show you guys what I'm working on. So basically, here's the utilities. You got your Namis. You have the Searcher Namis. You have the Namis that give Dawn to people. Radical Beam, 2 Dragon Seal. So this is the KO card. Jet Pistols to KO more stuff. Diablo Jambes. You have 4 of the Sanji OPs, because this is the Sanji that's a 2 cost and 3,000 power. And once you put it on the field, you can activate to hurt yourself, to give this 2 Dawn, to give this 2,000 power and 2 Dawn on it to do 7,000 damage. So effectively, if you really needed to, this leader gives this card rush. It'll give this card rush too, which is the new purple. It was not new, but this is another promo Luffy card. Everything that I have in this color is potential triggers for the leader ability. And one thing that's going to be fun is the Luffy from OP04, which is the 8-drop, 8,000 power, 0 counter OP04 Dressrosa Luffy, where it has Banish. So that is now going to have Rush. So basically, this deck I'm working on, it's a Straw Hat that is a mix of lowering cost to attack and KOing when you attack. So we have Brook that, oh god, this is gonna have so much value for this Brook. You do have to have Dawn on him to get the effect, but that's why some of these Namis are here. But basically, he attacks, he has Rush, you attack with the Dawn, lower two enemies some down. And then this is the Zoro. This is not the Rush Zoro, this is the other Zoro, where if you have a Dawn on him, he's gonna have plus 1,000. So pretty much, he is so on your second turn, let's say you go second, you have 4 Dawn, you get to throw this guy out. He's gonna have Rush. He's gonna have 1 Dawn on him extra, so he's gonna be 7,000 to attack to their face, and he's gonna be 6,000 on the opponent's turn. It's really good. And then more stuff like that. We might actually have some use for the some Alabaster cards, but I'm very excited for this card. And if you guys want the there's like more like artwork and stuff for the released sort of PRB01 reveal. So in this set, there's gonna be a ton of reprints, but then 1 new card, I think, which is just the Sanji. So there you go. So yeah, guys, these were the leaks since the last leak video I did. I hope you guys enjoyed us looking at them, talking about them. Once more leaks come out, I will have another video. This one was a little long though. It ended up being 25 minutes. So I guess I'll make another video, but then not wait until there's like a lot of leaks to look at. So when there's an okay amount of leaks, that'll maybe make it a 15-minute video. I'll do another one. But hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun. And stay tuned. We're going to have some Sanji decks coming out. Me and Scoobs, we made up our own deck list. And it's going to be fun to see which one maybe comes out on top. Also, I'm going to be updating a lot of my decks with these reveals. I'll be coming out with more deck profile videos. So stay tuned for all that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.